Hey Talking Cars fans, we're going to the 2018 Los Angeles Auto Show and we want to hang out with you, our podcast audience, while we're there. We're hosting a meetup at the Arts District Brewing Company on Wednesday, November 28th from 7 to 9 p.m. Come join us and we'll talk about cars, including our favorites from the show. So send us a text or an email to talkingcars@icloud.com to let us know if you can attend. Hope to see you there.
The test results for the 2019 Hyundai Santa Fe are in. We talk about that, as well as celebrate Thanksgiving, talking about all the things we're thankful for in the automotive world. Next on Talking Cars. Welcome to a very special Thanksgiving edition of Talking Cars. I'm Mike Quincy.
I'm Jennifer Stockberger.
And I'm Jake Fisher.
So whether you're just listening or you're watching, in front of us is a wonderful cornucopia. It's laid out on our table here, getting us totally into the Thanksgiving mode. We're ready to celebrate all things automotive and to talk about the things that we're thankful for in the world of cars. But before we get to that, we have some recently released test results of a very popular car. And we're going to mix things up a little bit because we're going to start out with a question which leads us into this. The question is, what are your impressions of the 2019 Hyundai Santa Fe? A very popular model by Hyundai. They got a lot riding on this. They sell a ton of these. Jen, what you've got a lot of experience with Santa Fe.
Right, so I was telling you guys this story. My family, my husband and I actually bought an earlier Santa Fe, I think it was 07. It was actually a test vehicle from the track, and we had it back then. We had little kids, and what I say about the Santa Fe is that was the perfect sized car for us at the time, and I would say it still is for a family, even families with bigger kids like I have now. It's roomy. I do appreciate in the new one that it doesn't alienate you in terms of controls and everything. It's got a traditional gear selector.
Still straightforward Hyundai.
Hyundai's done a great job with infotainment. They really, even as simple as pairing your phone. They've made it really easy, but still giving you all the capability. We had a really nice one, a limited with leather. I would still say that is a good car for a small family.
And that was a real transition for Hyundai. They went from kind of having kind of a junky little Santa Fe to this redesigned one.
Right, we had that first nice one.
It was really a big step up. But now for 2019, Hyundai is kind of shifting around the naming of this vehicle.
Well, it's still Santa Fe, but it's a little odd because so there was the Santa Fe Sport. So the Santa Fe Sport was actually a smaller version of the Santa Fe.
No third row.
No third row. This is actually, the new Santa Fe is actually the replacement for the Santa Fe Sport. But they're still selling the old Santa Fe.
Keep up.
So you got two Santa Fes, so they changed the name of the current Santa Fe to the Santa Fe XL.
Which has the third
row seat. So while this really isn't truly successor of the Santa Fe, it's called the Santa Fe. It's a little bit smaller. It's only two rows. A lot of them are going to be sold with just a 2.4 liter 4-cylinder engine. Ours, we kind of got the more higher end one, which is a 2-liter turbo. So no V6 on this vehicle.
I think ours was a V6.
Yours was a V6.
It was.
That's what we tested. Yeah. And look, there's a lot of nice things about the 2019 Santa Fe, but you don't have the third row seat of the old Santa Fe. You also don't have that V6, which was terrific, which is like lots of torque. You've got this 2-liter, which we see all these new cars going to these smaller displacement turbos. And the sad truth is, for a lot of them, they don't work as well. There's not as much, off the line grunt. It's not quite as smooth power delivery. You could get the 2.4, but you don't have as much power. It's a little smoother, so it's unfortunate. But the good news is, you still could go buy the old Santa Fe, the Santa Fe XL, and that vehicle does have the V6 and has a third row. Look, the new one, I mean, it's nicer. I mean, look, the styling is cool. The interior styling is really nice. It's got the latest and greatest infotainment, but the old one's pretty good too.
Latest safety will have.
Right.
Latest and greatest safety, better safety.
I have to say that.
You have to bring it back.
No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
So, but the truth is that if you're interested in a vehicle like that, I mean, you might want to consider the outgoing Santa Fe, the Santa Fe XL, or even the Kia
Sorrento.
The Kia Sorrento, which is also a three-row with the V6. Now, the truth is that Santa Fe XL is kind of like just for the time being. They're going to replace that. They're going to have a big three-row SUV. They announced it's the Hyundai Palisade, which I
had a friend who had the Veracruz.
Right. That was a pretty old kind of crude design.
But I mean, it's going to be a big three-row, so if you need that. But right now, there's other choices.
Well, just like Subaru, it's only a matter of time before Hyundai gets back into the big SUV business. I mean, that's what a lot of people are asking for.
That's right. That's right.
So yes, check out the test results for the new Santa Fe, and that kind of brings us to a reminder. We always get a lot of questions here at Talking Cars, and we love getting them. So keep sending them to talkingcars@icloud.com. That's talkingcars@icloud.com. Video questions are awesome. We love to get to them as many as possible. But really, we're stepping away from that format a little bit. And as we mentioned in the intro, we're kind of going to be doing a free-form format today. We're going to be talking about stuff that we are very thankful for in the world of cars. And, just kind of throwing it out there. When we had our pre-meeting about this, we had lots and lots of great ideas. Jen, take it away.
So, at the risk of sounding a little corny, corny. Oh, I didn't even think that. You're bad.
Man.
So,
Terrible.
I am thankful for safety features. And the reason I am, and you've heard a little bit, certainly people that listen often, we were able to put my 19-year-old daughter, who's at college, driving in New Hampshire, driving in the snow, driving to this equestrian thing, in an affordable vehicle with the forward collision warning, automatic emergency braking. She's using her phone, no doubt, so Apple CarPlay is available, and in this Impreza that we got her. And I didn't realize how much peace of mind it was actually going to give me until she was actually in it. I feel so much better knowing that she's reliably getting where she needs to go and that these things are backing her up.
Right, so you're thankful for the safety equipment.
That's new and that it's available on a car I can afford to put her in.
Right, and even if, when you're in your position of having to put your child into a used car, we put a lot of emphasis on used car information here at Consumer Reports and finding a used vehicle with also that safety equipment as well.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, it's not just affordable new cars, but because we've been pushing for the safety equipment, I mean, even stability control and all these things, I mean, now you could go out and I got a 15-year-old.
Right.
Well,
it's coming.
He's turning 15, and he's gonna need a car in a year. And it's not like, at one point we were doing like these teen car lists that were like, well, if you want to get stability control, you got to spend $10,000. No longer. You could go back and you could get a lot of, really nice used cars that have a lot of safety equipment, which is really cool.
Right. And picking out a reliable one too.
Right. Because it's angst enough. So to put them in a car that's decent is really good.
Cars are getting safer.
Yep.
Thank goodness for that. I think we're going to see a lot of that theme today, because
it'll be surprising.
Just thinking about evolution, how cars have gotten better, and I know we talked about that in our meeting, and Jake, you had a few thoughts about how cars are how they used to be and how they are now.
Sure. I mean, what's interesting is that with all of the rising fuel economy and emissions and all the requirements and safety and I mean, there was all these, a lot of people are like, oh, the sky's falling and, all the, there's no fun cars going to be in the future and, everything's going to be this tank and you can't have, no more high horsepower cars or whatever. And right now we're at this point where it is phenomenal from, you look at the supercars that are out there. I mean, look, I get it. I'm not going to drive 250 miles per hour on the way home from work today. But from an engineering standpoint,
we have a track.
Haven't been able to get up to 250 on the track.
It's a little small.
180, I think, we've had a few times. Anyway, let's not go there. So we were talking about safety, right? Closed track, safe, don't try this at home, kids. So, I mean, look at the technology. I mean, it's like we've pushed the technology because there are constraints about, fuel use and emissions. And there are cars out there that meet all those requirements that go 270 miles per hour. That is amazing, unlike just normal pump fuel that you get at the gas station. That's crazy. That is amazing. But honestly, what I am thankful for, and I'll be just very personal here, and this is going to be corny too, but it's like, I got a neat job here, I mean, just back up for a second. I mean, when I was a little kid, I was always been into cars. I mean, since I was like 4. I mean, everything was about cars. And like, I always imagined like in the future, like an unbelievable success would be like I have this giant garage with a different car I could drive every day. And
Here you
I
are.
work at a nonprofit, so I don't have the big garage. But I mean, what do we have? We have 50 or 60 cars out here, all the latest technology, and we get to drive them. Everything, and we get to experience this new technology, and the new technology just keeps on flowing out. And we
Right.
got,
We're never bored.
we're never
Right.
bored. I mean, what their cars can accomplish, what they're doing in terms of partial automation, in terms of the technology, and the cool thing about here. And look, there are other places where people review cars,
Right.
but what's neat about here is we don't take advertising from
I think it's good to remind everyone how Consumer Reports is different.
Right.
From the no ad policy, from we buy our own products. We really tell it like it is, and
that's
a great freedom.
It's a freedom, and I know. I have other people in industry that do this type of thing, and it's tough, because I mean, if you're getting money from advertising, it's like, do you really want to say this or say that? So
and we don't.
It's easier. It's easier on us.
We don't take that lightly. I mean,
No.
we
Like
do
Jake
not
says,
just
we appreciate it every
haphazardly
day.
say, well,
Right.
we don't like this car this week, and we back it all up. And I really like that perspective of being thankful just for having this track, for having these great video guys helping us put these podcasts together.
Yeah, these guys are
Great
these guys are good.
coworkers.
Although they make us wear these sweaters sometimes.
Well,
which
yeah.
Dave's got this thing about like these corny sweaters. I don't know. Yes.
Ours
yes,
are
Dave.
good.
You know what?
That's
You know what it
why-
comes from? It comes from that video. So a long time ago, before we did videos, right? He's gonna kill me for telling this story. But before we did videos, I did the trial run, and I was wearing this like '80s sweater.
Nice.
And we were. What was the car? Pontiac Solstice.
Nice.
In the snow.
Nice.
In the
And we
snow.
did this
Everybody
trial
did,
run,
yeah.
and I was wearing this goofy sweater, and he'll never let me forget it. But that's okay.
The video guys are
Do you still
hipsters.
have it?
The Solstice?
No.
I would keep the Solstice, lose the sweater.
Lose a sweater.
So, I was thinking about this question about what I'm thankful for, and I am, like we mentioned, I'm really thankful of what I see is a really rapid evolution of the state of performance. I looked up some old Consumer Reports issues, and in 1983, the top Ford Mustang GT horsepower was 175.
Wow.
We were laughing now. Back then, that was something.
And that-
It was
that's
a
not
five-
that long
It was a
ago.
5-liter V8.
Wow.
It was a
The 4-cylinder Camry is above that now.
Right. And now the Mustang GT for 2019 is putting out 460 horsepower. Back in the dark days of the 70s and 80s, and they were dark days if you were into cars. A mainstream model like a Mustang putting out 460 horsepower,
Unheard of.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
I never thought I would see that day.
Well, I mean, and you look at like, the Hellcats and stuff, what they're doing. I mean, they're over 700 horsepower
It's nuts.
on pump fuel.
Right.
I mean, it's
Right.
amazing.
The exhaust emissions are a lot cleaner now than they were back
And
then.
they're meeting
The-
emissions
Right. Well, I mean,
Right.
the fuel economy is better. The safety is better.
Yeah.
The crash test cage. I mean, what you're sitting in is safer. All of that stuff is unbelievable to me back then.
It's amazing what the car companies can accomplish. And it's sometimes we sound like a bunch of whiners because we're like, oh, we don't like this, and the
Right.
controls are bad, and all these things, and that's true. But it's like you almost have to sit back and say it's phenomenal.
Right.
What the engineers and the car designers can accomplish. I mean, it's really.
I mean,
You don't have
it's
to
amazing.
compromise.
And on that,
Right.
on that line of thinking, many years ago, part of Consumer Reports' car evaluation protocol included an evaluation called starting and running. Do you remember that?
And it would stay?
Well, but
No,
I
I don't remember
No,
that. That was
we're-
before our
It
time.
was before our time, but
Yeah.
we're going back to carburetors. We're going back to when a car was cold, if you could get it running, and if you got it running, it would stumble and cough and choke.
Wow.
So we've really
We take all this for granted
We've
now.
we've gotten away from that, and I was also thinking about how funny it is. The cars like the most recently tested Jaguars that we've had that have a start-stop system. So you come to a stoplight,
Right.
engine shuts off, try to save gas, take your foot off the brake, engine automatically restarts. Back in the day, you'd be lucky if your old Jaguar, old British car would start once. And now you've got a Jaguar that
multiple
keeps
times.
starting
Could you
over and over and
imagine?
over. I think that's
Having
incredible.
the guts to turn it off at a stoplight. Oh.
So I mean, I'm grateful that cars have gotten so much better, and you put it in perspective of working, how neat it is to work at the track. When people find out that we work for Consumer Reports Auto Test, inevitably we're asked, "What's your favorite car?" And honestly, for me, the list is a mile long.
It's a hard question.
Or it changes every week.
It's a hard question.
You know, I haven't driven the new so and so, and I get that. Oh, now that's my favorite car.
Right.
I mean, you know, there we are with the state of cars and how good they are.
We talk about too all the little stuff. I mean, we're obviously hitting on kind of the big stuff that we've been talking about, things that your cars have now that they didn't when you bought your last car. And it can be as, you know, the push button start, the auto stop start, Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto.
Apple CarPlay with Waze.
With Waze.
Which
Everybody
is
was
just
talking about Waze.
A game changer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
One of my favorites that I'm thankful for, that I don't have to take the fuel filler cap off. They're all capless. It's just awesome. You know,
One day,
all
well-
that little stuff adds into your overall of, I really like this
well,
car.
and suddenly you take it for granted. I mean, obviously we're always driving the new cars, but you know, taking around my kids in these new cars, and it's like, I remember, you know, we rented a car with roll-up windows, and they're like,
what is this?
What is this sorcery? You know, and they thought it was the coolest thing. And like one day, you know, we'll see these things that are like, oh my God! Can you imagine if they saw a choke? You know,
You got to pull this out and wait.
Why would you
You
do
got to
that?
pump the gas a few times
Yeah,
to
right.
get it in the
Doesn't even
carburetor.
make any sense.
No.
Right. Pumping brakes, all these things.
Yeah.
Gone away.
So you know, we're lucky that we live in an era where the cars are so good. Maybe this is the golden era of cars. And I think we always heard, oh, you know, in the 50s everything had style.
don't
and
Can you
make
hear
them
us in
like
a few
they used
years?
to.
Back in my day, we're going to be doing it pretty soon.
Thank goodness
Yep.
they don't make them like they used to.
There you go.
So that gives you an idea of where we are in our state of thankfulness in cars. And you often see the same faces on Talking Cars every week. However, you need to know that there are a whole bunch of people that work behind the scenes that make this place run. And we're really interested in getting their faces on camera, giving you guys an idea of who else works here, and asking them what they're thankful for in the world of cars. And we had our video guys run around the office, come bombard these folks, putting a camera in their faces, say, quick, tell us what you're thankful for. And here's an idea of what they said.
Hi, I'm Jeff Bartlett, Deputy Editor for the Cars team. This year, I'm thankful for the advances in technology. We're seeing things with powertrain, safety systems, entertainment, all kinds of innovations. This keeps the market very interesting for us to follow. But we're thankful also for the consumers that read our magazines and our website and provide information so we know, is it just exciting or is it actually holding up in the real world?
Hi, I'm Donna. I'm the receptionist here, and I really like the Kia Sorento this year.
Hey, I'm Andrew. I'm a video producer here at the track. My favorite thing, or what I'm thankful for the most, is satellite radio in our test cars.
Hi, this is Gabe Shanhauer. I'm thankful this year that there are, even though fewer and far between, there are some cars that are still fun to drive, like the Porsche Cayenne, the Jaguar XE, and the Alfa Romeo Stelvio.
Hi, I'm Kelly Funkhauser, and I'm the Program Manager for Vehicle Usability and Automation. And I am most thankful for safety equipment becoming standard on vehicles so that we don't have to ask for the equipment from dealers by a funny name and have them not know what we're talking about.
My name is Anatoly. I am one of the video producers here at the Auto Test Center at Consumer Reports. And this Thanksgiving, I am thankful for my dream job. I get to shoot beautiful images of beautiful cars every single day, and I get to drive them.
Hey, it's Mike Monticello. This year, I'm thankful for how much the full-size pickups have improved, particularly the Ram 1500. I really love driving that thing, and the Ford F-150 is really nice too. These things are so capable now that they can act like a family sedan, yet you can still haul bicycles and motorcycles and whatever else you need to, but in total comfort and quiet and still plenty of power.
Well, weren't those responses interesting?
There you go. That's the rest of us, right?
Well, that's going to about wrap it up for this episode. As always, when you're interested to find out more information about the cars or topics that we talked about, check out the show notes. We really appreciate you tuning in. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. We'll see you next week.